Hello, everyone. Welcome to Living Paranormally podcast with Elise Jameson and moi, Kristen Newman. We're so happy to have you here. Again, what is Living Paranormally? It is living in a symbiotic relationship with spirit, realizing that the things that we tend to do naturally when you invite spirit in your life and living your best life and what that even looks like. And this is the stuff that Lisa and I talk about, just life stuff and incorporating the woo-woo into it because that's just freaking fun. So
Yeah.
join us for the ride and always ask questions and maybe post different things that you want us to chat about because you know what? We probably have chatted about it. We would love to chat about it again and join us for the ride. Hi, Lacey Lou.
Hello, Chrissy May. I saw that on our other one. I'm like, Chrissy May. Chrissy May not. But hey, how are you today? It's Saturday. Is it Saturday? It is. It's a Saturday. It's a good day.
Yes, June
Lo-
20th.
Say what?
June 20th. I had to think about the date.
Yeah, June 20th.
June
And
20th.
and and you put episode, I noticed, uh number 7.
Mhm. We
Or-
skipped number five. I don't know where number five went. I said the last one was episode number six. Now it's number seven. So number five is Phantom. So if you can't find five,
Don't
because five
worry.
doesn't exist, it's okay.
Don't worry about it. Move forward.
Just move on.
What is that? What's behind you is not important.
Exactly. Exactly.
But what is important, as Kristen and I were discussing earlier today, are
Mhm.
some of the signs that you may or may not notice as you go about your daily life.
Yeah.
And those can be so fun when you notice them
Hmm.
and enlightening when you notice them. And one of the things I shared, and I'll just start off, is working with someone yesterday. They're very structured and have a tendency to overthink. Who else does? I know I do, right? It's like we can all have our moments, at least I do, of overthinking. And this person was overthinking, need to make a list, need to write it down, very structured. Went to go grab a pencil, didn't work, or a pen. Went to grab a second one, didn't work. Chatted a bit more, got 3 from my kitchen, brought them in. First one she grabbed didn't work. And I'm like, do you think there's a message there? What are the chances?
Hmm.
And as we got to talking, it really became evident that structure in this moment needed to be thrown to the wind. It really did. And sometimes those signs or synchronicities or whatever have to like literally slap you in the face until you go, oh, right. But I thought that was so cool. So it took 4 writing instruments, and I finally did get a pencil, a mechanical pencil that that could work just for some key words. But the message we got loud and clear, and it helped us throughout the rest of our conversation. But I know that those happen all the time, and we chat about them, right?
Yeah, all the time. I love what you told me about your song this morning, too.
Oh, yeah. I get a lot of messages through music. I always have
Mm-hmm.
since I was a kid, always. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, and this morning before we decided to connect on Zoom, this song popped up that I have not heard since I was a kid. I won't mention the number of years. But the song that came up, it's called Help Is on the Way. It brought me to tears. It brought me to tears. And it talks about living inside a bubble and slowing down, the need to slow down and not, I mean, if you know the song, you know the song. I guess Keith Urban did a cover of it, and that's the song that popped up on my Pandora. And I mean, I have never heard him even do it. It was like out of the blue. So when things like that to me pop up out of the blue at a certain moment and it hits you so hard,
Hmm.
like, wow, okay, I need to really pay attention to this.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know what else to say. They're just, I listen to the lyrics. If you wake up, you and I have talked about waking up to songs sometimes out of the blue. Like, why
All the
is
time.
this
I'm a
song
song
in my
person
head?
too. Mm-hmm.
Right? And then you have to look at the lyrics. Well, you don't have to, but what
Hmm.
we do.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at the lyrics, because there must be, there's got to be something there, and there is. There always, not usually, there always is. It's like, oh, wow. Okay. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah,
Yeah.
it's so cool. And of course, not only was it emotional, but it, excuse me, it just lifted my frequency. I was just like, whoa, dancing around, singing. It's just, wow. Thank you. Thank you. And then I'm sure I'll be thinking about it for a few days. And, but yeah.
Yeah, I love that because again, what we were discussing before popping on was it invoked an emotion for Elise, right? So she had this, oh my God, I'm crying. I don't know why I'm crying. It's just like downloads sometimes too. You know something happened, you don't know what it is, but spirituality, this is annoying. This is annoying because someone like me that wants to look something up and understand and learn consecutively how to follow certain steps to do something, if you're looking for that in spirituality, it's not going to happen. That's not how spirituality happens. It is not going to happen. It is not linear,
Right. Right. It's nothing logical. It's nothing.
consecutive.
Right. There's no
It's
steps. We talked about that yesterday too in my client meeting. It
really
was like,
okay.
yes, interesting, right? And again, always those synchronicities, right? So, yeah, you have to go with the flow, and you have to feel it. And those are the ways when you don't force and you don't insist upon an order or the logic or the steps.
Hmm.
It just comes, right?
Right. So again, it invoked an emotion in Lise. And as Lisa's talking, I'm like, that's interesting. It's a new version that came up that you didn't know about. So the guide said new version
Right.
and allowing, okay, your emotions are telling you something, but what is it? What is it? And that was always the spot that I would get stuck and hooked in is what? And I totally learn to surrender. And I talked with this with a client this past week as well. And it was about what is surrender? Honestly, for me, for Kristen, surrender was I was so freaking tired. I was tired. I'm like, I'm mentally done exhausting myself over this. Just take the wheel. And by take the wheel, I just mean it happens when it happens.
Right.
So I was actually had the light bulb moment of surrender. Again, things happen organically in spirituality. You can't force it. You can, but it's going to be like, like you're kind of forcing it a bit,
Right.
a lot of it. So when you allow it to flow organically, you're there when you get there. Are we there yet? We're there when we get there. So that's what spirit is saying.
It's true, though. We can be that little 3-year-old in the back seat going, are we there yet? Are we there yet? We can be, oh my gosh, you made me think of a Mike Myers, Austin Powers movie where he tries to finagle in a little golf cart, and he's trying to do a U-turn, and he just keeps going, hitting the wall, hitting the wall. That's what happens if you force it. It's awkward. It doesn't have, could hit walls if you just surrender.
It's me going backing up into a parking space. A 50-point turn. What the hell is she doing? That's just Kristen trying to back in. And then I say screw it and pull in forward.
Right? But I think that's part of the message that's coming through today is the sense of humor about it, right? The flow,
Mm,
the insistence upon with my client, the structure, with surrender, with your all of these things seems to be the message of today's podcast, which is keep your eyes wide open,
mm-hmm.
surrender and flow. You want to force it, that's human nature, that's the ego mind. try and just breathe through it and let it go so you don't end up doing your 50-point turn or the hitting of the walls and the everything else. If it takes 4 writing instruments until you get the message that don't work, it takes 4, whatever it takes.
Oh, you want to hear something stupid and funny? I didn't tell you this. I swear. Teaching and sharing from my own vulnerability. Oh my God, yesterday I was putting on a tank top.
Okay.
I swear it took me 5 minutes. How long does it take to put on a shirt? 5 seconds? 8 seconds if you're like laying it out. And I put myself through it and I'm like, what the hell? And my head was through the head and the arm. Took it off and then it was the other way through the head
Oh,
and the arm.
oh my gosh.
Lise, I'm like, what? I was hysterical laughing. I'm by myself and I'm going, oh my God, if Ray was here, I would never live this down.
Mhm.
And honestly, the message was because I was just trying to be, I need to do this, I need to do that. I was, getting myself ready. So it was just slow down and being lighthearted and not getting frustrated. Because old Kristen's pattern would be frustrated because I'm trying to control each moment,
Yes.
making sure I can get this done, making sure I feel good. So it's a rush of, I feel good right now. I don't have an episode, so let's hurry up and get this done
Get
type of
things
thing.
done. Yeah,
But
go
oh
down
my
your list.
God.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is wrong with me? I actually was looking in the mirror. I'm like, my head is through the head hole and the armhole. And then I took it off and I did it again and it was the opposite. So if I'm ever late to something, it's probably because I'm not putting.
You're like
Oh
this.
my
For the
God.
shirt. Oh my
Anyone
God.
else, please tell me you have that problem every once in a while. This is the first time, honestly, that that's happened to me, but I was rolling. And I was like crying and I was by myself, but
But that's great. That's again perfect example, right? I put on shirts and then I go to the mirror to get something and I see the tag and I'm like, oh, it's inside out. Glad I didn't walk out of the house like that. Um, but again, what also happened within this last 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours,
Mhm.
I went shopping, I went to Target, I'm at the self-checkout, doing my job, right? Learning how to play my cashier myself out. And all of a sudden it beeped at me. And I'm like, okay, I didn't scan it, whatever. And I go to my cart and lean over to get something else. And the worker person comes over and goes, ma'am, ma'am. She was like, you'd think a bomb was gonna blow. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, it didn't work. It didn't work. Oh, okay. What do you need to do?
Mhm.
And so their code, there was an error on their code. So she's swiping and she's moving. And she's in a panic state. And I was just standing there observing. And then it's stuck, the system, and it's spinning, just like we see on our computers. So the
Yeah.
screen is just spinning. And of course, there's a line, and she's like, oh, now. And I looked at her and I said, well, no need to panic. I literally said that. I'm like, I'm not panicked. And I wasn't. I was like so calm, like, what the hell is going on? And she's like, "Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." And I swear I didn't think. I just automatically, my body, spirit,
Mhm.
right? Went over and looked at the touchpad and punched the X and it cleared. And she's
You
like,
can't see the forest through the trees when you're in fight or flight. So
yep,
that's why it's so important to just take breaths with intention. Because if you're panicked and I say just take breaths, what are you going to do? And then, great, Kristen, now I'm hyperventilating. Because who did that before? Me. So when you take breaths with intention or do anything with intention, it's I'm breathing in light or God or whatever. And I'm breathing out everything else that doesn't serve me. This moment that doesn't serve me, whatever stuff that I know or unknown that doesn't serve me, I'm breathing it out. And you do that for a moment to reconnect and adjust and press the X on your parasympathetic nervous system so you can see the forest through the trees.
yes, yes,
Because I remember one of the things I did, I'm at home a lot of the times. I have a thick cell phone because mine opens up. I don't know how many freaking times a day I'm like, where's my phone? Where the hell is my phone? And it's not up, so I can't call myself from the house phone to find where the hell it is. So I remember being so huffy because I couldn't find my phone. No one else was home. I was, where the hell's my phone? I didn't turn it up yet. Oh my God, Ray's gonna call me and he's gonna freak out. And again, the reason he freaks out is because of what happened with me. So he likes to make sure he can get me. So all of a sudden I'm looking and the guide said, unmake your bed and remake it. My bed was all made. And I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with finding my phone? So I was so annoyed, and the guides just said it again, like several times. And I'm like, fine. So I go over, I unmake my bed. Do you know my cell phone? I made my cell phone in the bed. It was in the fitted sheet.
In the fitted sheet? Oh my God.
You know how you can drive home and you're like, I don't remember the drive home. That's called not being mindful. You're on automatic, you're on auto ego pilot, and
Right.
you're just a sheeple in the matrix. I was a sheeple making the bed, and I made my phone in the bed. But because I have that door wide open for spirit to come through, they're like, unmake your bed and remake it. What? Where's my phone?
I
I
want
don't
to
care
do
how
that
my
now.
bed
Tell me where my phone is.
looks. But again,
Yep.
spirituality is not a consecutive thing. So again, the song that Lise got and it invoked this emotion. Okay, spirit, thank you for that. Can you tell me what I need to know of this because it invoked that emotion? Because emotions are energy in motion. It's triggering you because there's something coming up from that. So sometimes you know it, you need to know it, and other times you don't. And the guides will full on say, whatever you needed to clear from whatever, you don't need to relive again, and it's cleared. And I'll get that too. So you
Mm-hmm.
don't need to bring it back up again. And that comes up in sessions too. Whatever this is, we don't need to know about. You just need to know you feel it and it's moving on.
Right.
But it's also the maybe you find out later that day. Maybe it's the following week. Maybe it's in a month or two or 6 months. Again, there's the more we relinquish control and stop forcing, the faster things go to you.
Yes. It does not happen in a sequence. It doesn't stay in a box.
Hmm.
It just is. Because everything just is, right? There's so much going on around us that we don't even realize.
Yeah.
Um, which just reminds me of another thing. I don't know if it applies, but it popped in my head. So another thing that came up in this last week was the movie Michael, where John Travolta is an angel.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll tell you something after that.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So the funny part was, ooh, and I'm just getting chills now. So the interesting part was Archangel Michael has always been with me since I was a small child. I didn't even know who he was, but he came to me in a dream and I just found out who he was. And he was going to watch over me.
Hmm.
And it came to mind, and I somehow it just popped in my head. That later that day, that movie ad popped up on my Roku screen. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to watch it because clearly, if you're paying attention, right, it's like thought this, okay, it's in my face, watch it. And the scene that just came to mind that, sorry, I'm taking so long to get to that point, with things going on around us is at the end of the movie. Michael comes back with the lady, I can't think, it's Jean Stapleton's the actress who passes.
Hmm.
And they end up getting the two main characters together. And somebody smells cookies because that's how they recognized his angel smell.
Hmm.
But I loved how they decided to dance. And they danced right around the main characters in the movie and they froze the main character screen and showed how these people are just dancing like right around him. And I'm like, yes, the message there is, yeah, there's so much going on around us that we don't even realize see, we may feel it, we may get a smell, we may get whatever. And I'm like, that's so awesome just to see that. And then the main characters continue to walk and they continue to dance and, go off. But it was that clarity that there's shit going on all the time, all around. And you just got to be open to it. Sorry, that
Yeah.
was long.
No, hey, you're talking to the queen that does that. I totally get it. But last night we went out to dinner. We came home. It was around 8 o'clock, and Ray put on, I don't even know what it's called. It's a HDMI screen where you can choose Netflix or whatever, and it shows the different, these are the popular movies or whatever. And do you know it showed that movie with John Travolta called Phenomenon?
That's the other one I was thinking of.
So I'm like, oh my God. And I can't remember what was it, 1997 or something like that when it came out.
A long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, I can't, 2000, I don't know. But it was a hot minute ago. And I remember thinking of Michael. So that's just funny when you brought it up. I'm like, I need to watch the movie Michael again, too. So when you mentioned it, it was like, okay, I need to watch that
I
movie
was
for
thinking I
whatever reason.
watched Phenomenon again. I swear.
So we both need to watch Phenomenon. Do, 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 do. And we need to watch Michael as well, both with John Travolta. And if I have that earworm in my head, so do you. Do,
Thank
do, do, do,
you.
do. Phenomenon. Do, 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 do. You're
Join
welcome.
us. Really, it's fun.
Apparently, I drank Kool-Aid.
But yeah, there's so many just magical things if you pay attention and
Relinquish,
relinquish.
relinquish control. Because again, someone that I had this past week, it was about how do you surrender? How does this even work? We can get so stuck in our heads. And then I reconnected with somebody this past week as well. And it's the realization of a lot of people are having dark nights of the soul. A lot of people are really awakening. And the people that you would never, you just don't know who is and who's questioning things because it's weird and it's woo woo and I don't care anymore. I'm weird and I'm woo woo and I'm normal and I'm whatever. You can living paranormally. You can be all of it all at once. So what if it's not normal in whatever group or something that you're part of? You're getting the calling for a reason. The dark night of the soul is really pulling you towards something and bringing up all of this crap to be in your face for a reason. And it's trying to get your attention. We have free will, whether we want to spiral in it or ask, what is all of this trying to tell me? And then trusting yourself intuitively, what do I need to do to rest, recharge, and refresh myself? Because that's what I had to do a lot of, by the way, for my dark night of the soul. It was a lot of, what do I do today? Float in the pool, draw, automatic channel, meditate, not meditate, sit on the couch and binge watch Grimm. I mean,
Right,
not binge
whatever it takes.
watching, but yeah.
And
But
for those who aren't woo-woo or don't know, Dark Night of the Soul is simply what some eagle-minded people would call perhaps
depression.
depression,
Mhm.
um, a really deep healing, a point of what the hell's going on? Why am I feeling this way? I can't get out of this rut, this hole, this crevice.
Yes,
So I
live
just
well.
put that out there. Yeah, but there's a
Yeah.
purpose to it, and there's always the light at the end of the tunnel. It's allowing that piece as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it was I felt like I was in a well and Lassie was not coming to save my ass. I was in this dark pit. But again, it's trying to get your attention and there is a gnat and it was trying to go up my nose. So if I'm just clapping to myself, I am happy and I know it, but there's also a bug trying to go up my nose. So if you're wondering what I'm doing. So but the dark night of the soul is going to bring up all of these things all at once. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. Why? Because it's really triggering you to the depths of your soul. And I needed to go into the dark night of the soul to discover I am my own light. It's not something outside of myself, it is me. And that was a whole process within itself as
Right.
well, which was
Right.
interesting. But I had, when we came home last night, one of the other things, so other than seeing Phenomenon, I saw Ray, there was a trailer for Beehive, and I don't know, apparently a lot of people are in it. And Ray watched that movie. He goes, I watched it like 3 times and I love it. So Beehive came up and we watched the trailer for it. Nothing that I would want to watch for myself, but Ray loved the movie. And then I happened to just go on my phone and I was shutting off the sound because I was going to go to bed soon. Yes, if you heard me say it was 8 o'clock and I was going to bed soon. I get up very early in the morning like a baby. So when I was looking at my phone, all of a sudden on Instagram, it was the Star Walk app, and it was saying the Beehive cluster, and it's something that hits you. So when I started on this journey, it was like I stubbed my toe. What does this mean? What does that mean? What does this mean? What does that mean? And I was exhausted by the end of the day because everything meant something, and I was really tired. And now I allow it. And when you allow it, it's like, okay, guys, let me know if this is a sign. But I knew because there was a certain smack of energy in front of me that was, as soon as I saw Beehive again, and it was on the Star Walker app that I don't normally see, that was actually on Instagram, I knew Beehive meant something. So when I sat there for a moment and I asked my guides, yes, you can look up spiritually what is the spiritual meaning or spiritual properties of blah 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 blah. But I don't do that as much anymore. I will ask my guides, and they said this is big divine feminine energy because Queen Bee, and it's also about community because that's what bees do together. It's about community, it's about abundance because of the honey and all that kind of stuff. The color of it looks like citrine. Citrine is known for helping to bring in abundance, and hey, citrine. So, that kind of thing. So it was really interesting because I've been thinking I really need to just rip the band-aid because I'm waiting for a purple. Apparently, purple needed to come up for a reason. Purple.
Purple.
So I was waiting for the perfect time of when I do a woo-woo hangout, nights with spirit and random lives. And the guys are like, rip the band-aid already. There's no perfect time. Just like when it was like, hey, you're pregnant. And we were
Right.
having Emily. It wasn't unplanned, but it wasn't planned. That kind
Right.
of thing. So a lot of these things just kind of plop in your lap, and it's spirit saying, you don't know you're ready until you're going through it. So I'm ready, not thinking I was ready, because that's my ego. But my
Right.
heart and my gut are telling me that it excites me at the same time. Like, yes, let's do it.
Mhm.
So Beehive. And then also the night before, oh my God, why Ray or somebody else has to be there when I'm embarrassed over something is beyond me. And my oh, so took the dogs. I have 3 dogs, so I took the little ones out. Lola and Olive, I took them out. Ray was getting the cranky grandma up because Penny's 14 and sometimes she's cranky when you get her off the couch. So, yeah, she gets cranky. So I came out and there's this gorgeous crescent moon, and then you see Jupiter and Venus. And it was like, oh my gosh, and the way the clouds were, it was just beautiful. And I just stood there for a moment, like, how amazing, the abundance and expansion of Jupiter and, the love and all of that from Venus. And um, why do I always talk about poop too? So Lola pooped. So Ray came out with Penny, and
Okay.
something told me scoop the poop. Normally I wait until the morning to scoop poop, but something told me to scoop it. So it's like, okay, maybe one of them's going to step in it if I don't scoop it. Whatever the reason, I scooped the poop, and I have a pavered side of my yard. So I just walked through that little side because there's a tree that hangs right there and everything. I didn't think of it because I had already made sure there were no spider webs there during the day, but now it's nighttime and the spiders are out and they create their webs really quick. I walked face first into a spider web, holding my shovel with crap on it, and I'm going, "Bah!" And I'm like, don't drop the poop, don't fling the poop. Oh my God, is there a spider on me? So I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I run over and I dump the poop in the bucket and I throw down the shovel and I run to Ray. So he's like, stand still. So I'm like,
Ugh.
and he's checking my hair. Okay. Spiders and I have an agreement. They let me know when they're there. So, so I go out and I normally call spiders Frank. Hi, Frank. I don't know why. So, spiders always let me know when they're there. So, for me to walk through a web, I ran inside and I took my hair, I threw my shirt off and everything, and I'm checking and I took my hair out and I'm brushing my hair. There was no spider on me. So, it was just the web. But the web is also interconnectedness. So, again, this community aspect as well. So, because it hit me because afterwards when I was able to actually breathe and my heart rate came down and Ray was hysterical laughing, of course. He's like, did you fling any poop? I didn't drop any poop. I mean, talk about the talented gifts that I behold.
Right over the fence, somebody out in their
There
backyard.
was no poop was flung during the web debacle. So I'm happy to report.
Very good, very good.
Yes. So it was just afterwards the guide said the web. And then they're like, what did you see beforehand? So I love when and when I say when they're showing me, they'll put it back in my mind. So I'm just letting it go and I'm changing and I'm brushing my hair and they're like, the web. Okay, what about the web? And I just saw this. I could feel it and see it and know it was this and its interconnectedness. And then they showed me the moon and the two planets again. So I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you. Could we do that in a different way? Thank you for not having a spider on me because I would have, I mean, NDE number 2 would have happened. I'm telling you right now. And Ray will always tease me and say, oh, you love nature. I love nature, but I don't need it on me.
Right,
I
right.
love frogs. A frog jumped on my face one time and I lost it. So, I mean, just don't.
Yes,
Don't.
yeah. But that's it. Talk about, like I said earlier, if it takes four pencils or it has to smack you in the face, well, this literally smacks you in the face.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's the thing. Sometimes it's far more subtle, sometimes it's in your face.
It's
But
yeah. And I know I always talk about because ever since I was little, I would always sit in my room on my bed and I'd have a conversation with energies that I knew was in the room that I didn't realize it at the time that I knew they were there, but I would just talk all the time and navigate things. I would talk through my own issues or talk about my hopes and dreams or how to navigate something or why something. And it just it's really interesting because it's something that I'm being pulled back to do. And the guys actually showed me in my mind's eye me sitting in bed when I was younger and having those conversations. And they're like, do it again, but do it in front of a camera so people can see you navigate and talk about it and talk it out and all of that. Because it's through this psychic yapping that things are coming out to be able to not just serve myself, but serve you in some way. So, how do I relinquish control? What is surrender? I described what surrender was for me. What is for me may not be for Lise, may not be for you. So it's always important to what resonates. Oh, that resonates. And if it doesn't resonate, just put it aside and let it be for someone else that it is. And that's okay.
yeah.
But when we say it hits you, you can see certain things like before we did the renovation in Emily's bathroom, we had a shower curtain. It was a huge dragonfly on the shower curtain. And I saw that sucker every single day. And all of a sudden, one specific day, I used her bathroom and I turned and looked at the shower curtain, and the energy of it hit me. That's the only way I can describe it. It just hit me, and there were things that were coming forward that were very transformative for me throughout that day. So dragonflies were a big sign. So it will hit you in such a way that you just know. You're drawn to Reiki or energy for some kind of reason. I need to talk to this person for some kind of reason. I need to just go and do this. And by you doing that, other things are unfolding. You see a sign that you asked for, or whatever else, or you're the angel for somebody else because you have that conversation and whatever. So hopefully that interconnected webness makes that kind of sense for you as you're, whether you're new to this or we're always evolving and growing. Just because I've been doing this 10 years doesn't mean, okay, I'm good. I know everything now. I love learning more. I love listening to other people because everyone's experiences are different.
Mhm.
And it's through the differences it should connect us more. It's not that anyone else is wrong or whatever. It's just you have a different resonant frequency than me, than this person, than this person. So,
Exactly. Exactly. And
mhm.
just like we demonstrate when we have our podcasts and when we do all the time, we bounce off of each other, and our energy and our sharing helps and triggers and brings forward other things that we need or that you need. And it's an exchange, and it is that community, that interconnectedness, that whole everything going on. And that's, like you said, that's what everybody's coming forward. See, there you got the chills. Everybody is
Wiggles.
coming to that in their own way,
Yes.
and at their own pace. So
Yes.
make sure too, you don't compare yourself to others just because somebody does or feels or whatever one thing and you haven't or don't or not yet, or it's all good. Everything is good in all divine timing, just perfectly for you.
Yes. And it's funny that you said that don't compare because this morning my guides were, I was having a conversation as I was exercising. And I said, if I'm meant to speak about this on the podcast, please let me know. And I didn't write it down. And that's my test for myself that it will come back should it be important for me to speak about at this given time. And comparing. So, one of the things over the past couple of years is I've been reclusing and becoming Kristen and finding out who I am, what I love, what I don't, how I want to shift and change. Kristen loved to compare herself to everybody else. And it's annoying because, J-Lo's butt and this person's hair. And I mean, we're not the Mr. Potato Head of everybody else, we're ourselves.
Perfect example, Mr. Yes,
Oh
give
my God, the things that
me
come
that
out.
nose, give me that hair, give me that, yeah.
Seriously,
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
yes, because when you allow yourself to become you, you discover, oh my God, I didn't know that I could be this fit. Or because I'm on my own health journey, what fits for me and my lifestyle.
Yep.
I've been able to change my body composition, and I can my one of the affirmations I love is I can do hard things. There's nothing hard for me. I can do hard things because I'll look at something my trainer will send to me to do and I'm like, what the hell position is that? There's no way that I'm going to be like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing it. Like kick throughs when I was watching those. And I'm like, there is no way. And I'm like, oh my God, look at me. And I was so excited. So don't compare yourself to others. And that's what I saw when we took our vacation to the beach was I wasn't comparing myself. I loved seeing how everyone, I mean, basically, I didn't see rarely anyone wear a one-piece bathing suit unless it was a kid. Everyone was wearing bikinis. And I was just cheering everyone else on and myself.
Yep.
Because you're just that comfortable and you just don't care what other people think. You're living your life. And so I hope all of that makes sense. Just not comparing yourself, your growth, your spiritual growth, how smart you are, what degrees you have, all these other things. Don't compare yourself. Because again, the thing came up, and again, this came up in a session. This was a while ago, but it was Spirit wanted to talk about the client, one of the client's son. I think it was the only son that she had. And I said, he doesn't learn like other people learn. And the teacher that he has really should be in a different class with somebody else because the teacher and the kid just kind of don't resonate as much. And I said, you have a fish, a monkey, and a cat. And the
Mhm.
monkey and the cat can climb that damn tree. If that's the test, climb the tree. And they're like, whoosh, and they get up the tree. And the fish is like, what the hell? I'm the fish. I learn a different way. I don't conform to the way other things are. I never have. And because of that, I was put in a reading comprehension class when I was in high school up north. And it was like,
Don't
why
get me
the hell am I
started on that.
here? Why am I here? And I felt dumb. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm stupid. And that was what I was thinking. I'm not saying that. So it's because I'm the fish and I learn a different way. Everyone is intelligent in their own way. They have these areas that they excel at, but it takes a provider in the system to recognize that in
Yes.
them and teach accordingly.
Yes.
So, and it's interesting that that came up in the session. She's like, oh my God, I was going to ask about, because I asked for validating evidence. I have no way of knowing. She's like, I was going to ask you about my son. And Spirit full on came through and said that. And then
Yeah.
I realized, oh my God, I never realized I was the fish too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I excelled in um, foreign language class and like all these other science, all of that. But certain things I was just like Snoresville and I couldn't get because it just wasn't my thing. And the way it was being taught was just
Right.
so. And then you get another teacher and then you're like, oh my God, I love history, that kind of thing.
Right.
But
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. I've had those experiences as well. And it's so frustrating. Again, going back to the structure of society and the rules and the box that they try and put you in. And if the person isn't open enough to see, in order for you to be able to do something, you need to kind of not conform to the standard and go try this way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you are in society in general made to look like the oddball out. And that's who we are. That's who I was as well. It's just, which is why as I got into my corporate professional training life and HR, one of the things people told me I could do, and I think that was because of what I experienced, is when I was training people, I
Mm-hmm.
can take the one concept, whatever it is, and I will find 3 to 5 different ways to explain it. Because you probably explained or did the same thing. It's like, I don't understand this. And all they would do is repeat the same freaking thing over and over. And it's like, I didn't say I was deaf. I said I don't understand it. So my gift to others to pay it forward was, okay, let me explain it this way. Oh, you just still don't get it. All right, let me try it this way. Oh, you got it. So yeah, it's that whole thing, not only with the humaning and society, but also in the spiritual, paranormal realm, right? It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't all fit and go in that logical sequence. Everybody's different. Everybody receives different. They see more or they hear more or they know more, whatever it is to them individually. And we have to be open to accepting that.
Yeah.
And humaning in society doesn't really support that.
Right.
It's
Right.
not accepting the odd man out. It's not accepting if you don't conform. So, yeah, sorry, fuck that. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, that's why it's being your authentic self. This is why I'm talking about becoming Kristen, because I had to not care and look for outside validation for anything anymore. Because again, when I went through my dark night of the soul years ago, before any of this, before my NDE, before any of that, I saw Merlin and he touched my third eye. That's a whole story on its own. Fast forward till I'm having my, the dark night of the soul. And when I was coming out of it, ironically, I was talking to Lise because I was holding everything within. I did tell my husband, but I kept it to myself because I didn't want to give this burden or weight on Lise because I didn't want to do that to her, you know? And when I started talking about it, the one thing that you said that will forever stand out is, "Oh, my sweet friend, why would you keep that to yourself? This is what we do for ourselves is we help one another." And I will never forget those words and I want to cry, but I'm just too happy to cry. And I remember sitting outside. I'm like, "Oh my God." And it, you can drip out of a dark night and drip into it. I was boom into it. Like one day I was outside, the next day I'm in a damn well, what the hell just happened? And then all of a sudden someone just lifted me up and Lassie came and saved me and there I was. But the first being that came forward was Merlin and he goes, "I didn't turn you off. I turned on your inner sight."
Mm.
So I had to work through all of my inner shit in order to understand myself more. So become the observer and become mindful.
The observer.
The
Yeah,
observer is so important. This
yeah,
is how I tick. This
yeah.
is my natural way of being. I am an observer. I am always having conversations with spirit. It is all the time. It is not overwhelming to me. It is just the natural flow of the way that I am. If you're curious about it, watch Suzanne Geisman's interview about Wolf's message because Wolf and I are so similar. She has a book, Wolf's Message, as well. But when you learn to observe, you're not just in it and you're being in that ego and you're driving home and you're forgetting the drive home. Your meditation, I sucked at to start with. I don't know about you, but I sucked. I'm like, "Oh my God, there's so much going on in my head. How does anyone do this? How do you shut this off?" It's the process. And you know what? Some days she's still a pain in the ass. But most days I'm able to meditate and not bring everything up. But what does come up is meant to come up for a reason. And you
Yes,
watch it float by. And maybe you're meant to start digesting whatever that bubble is or bubbles are that's coming up, or so it's getting your attention for some reason. But when you become the observer and you become mindful, which is all of your senses in each moment, you're living, you're not just sheepling like this,
100%.
yeah, robotic, whatever. You're just this mindful being that is aware of how it smells outside as you're doing yard work. What do you see? What do you taste? What do you smell? What do you hear? All of those senses in that moment. And that, my friend, is the door opening and allowing spirit to come in and things talking to you and through you and all of that.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I could be like, ah, I'm just listening. Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. The observer, that especially the observer part helps when you're in that bucket of energy called emotion.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really helpful to kind of put one leg out of that bucket, kind of put those emotions over there and observe and go, okay, what the hell is this? Why? What is it doing for me? What should I know? It just helps with the processing
Mhm.
versus just woe is me and going under the water, right?
Right.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Flow with it. You feel the emotions and you want to, like, sometimes I just want to be a whiny bitch and complain. And that's what I'm going to do because I'm like, "Okay, does your ego feel?" And I'll actually say, "All right, Kristen, do you feel better now?" No, then let's go this route. So remember the paradox. You can be both. I can be both in it and the observer at the same time
Yep.
and
And
have
it's
these two concepts paradoxically exist at once.
Yes, going back then to our word of allow,
Yes.
right? Allow yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't insist on those things. Allow. If you feel this and you want to, do it. If it works for you, great. If you're like, this is not fun, try something else. Allow yourself to just go with that, what you need to do at that moment, and don't judge yourself. And that's so much easier said than done. I know.
Yes.
I know,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
you know,
As I say, not as I do, but I
it,
think, but I think the other thing too is for those starting on this path and really getting the pull of things, not conforming and seeking outside validation for things. That was a huge pivotal change. I lived my life according to what everyone else said, down to my damn hair color.
yep, yep, yep. I
And
talk
I
about that in my two
shifted.
cents from a hippie book. That's exactly it. That's where we were, just not being our authentic selves, just being what we were told we needed to be.
Right. And everyone else has their opinions. Oh, do people
Oh,
have their opinions?
oh,
And it's okay for me not to give a shit.
yes.
You don't like my hair? Okay, good thing it's not on your head. That kind of thing. But
Right,
that's where when you're your authentic self, that's where you start attracting. You're not attracting from this false self of what everyone thinks you should be and should know and everything else. Being the true me, yes, it brought up the people that aren't a resonant frequency,
right.
but don't ever think that you're too much, my friends, because just be you. Take
Right.
up fucking space. Take up space. Take up space and live. Man, it's triggering something in me because this is what I've been going through. So it's still this raw thing, and I just know how that feels. So being me, it's okay to be sick all of a sudden and go through my episodes and people to watch me and not know what the hell's her problem, that kind of thing. You don't need to know what my problem is. Mind your own business and I'll go on my day, that kind of thing. But it's not caring what other people think. So if you're getting the calling, if you're getting the nudge to do things, to be things, follow that nudge. It's a breadcrumb, that spiritual breadcrumb that's bringing you to certain places. But again, don't force, flow with it. Because the other thing that happens with me is I used to think I was such an idiot because I have 9 gazillion books. Oh, I think that was a hummingbird that went right up to the window.
Ooh, nice.
So I have 9 gazillion books. I think I'm reading 3 at the same time right now. By the same time, I mean, I pick up a book, I start to read it, and I'm like, okay, this is not speaking to me right now. And I put it down and I start reading something else, and that's not speaking to me. And then I pick up something else, and I'm like, oh my God, and I wind up finishing that book. And then I wind up going back to the first book and say, oh my God, how could I put this one down? Because I don't do anything normal. I am
I
I
do
am
the
me.
same thing. I do the same thing though. That's probably why we're related.
Yes, we're related.
Related. I'm sorry. But I always did. I always and still do have like a stack of two, three, I think
More.
4
Yeah.
books on my
Mhm.
nightstand. It just depends on what you're feeling. So another perfect example of not conforming, of going with the flow, what you're feeling at the time, what your need at the moment. It will come if you just not, oh, I should finish reading this before I open the next one. No,
Mhm.
you are the one that taught me, my friend, where you feel like you need to buy a book, you buy the book, you open it, you cannot continue read. It just like
Right.
it's not vibing with it. So you close it. It's okay, put it down because there will come a time where you find it and then you'll zoom through it in like 3 days.
Yeah.
So there's a time and a place for everything if you allow it to just happen when it needs to.
Yes, that's what they mean by divine timing.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
what they mean by all of that because it happens at the time that meant, you're just meant.
Right. If we haven't driven home the point of signs and allowing and flowing in today's episode, I'm not sure what will.
Yes, we've said it many different ways.
I think we've given some awesome examples. So, if you have experienced similar signs and want to share those with us, if you have questions, if anything, leave us a comment. We'll pay attention. We'll talk about some more, but hopefully this sharing, again, our goal is to help you to navigate and learn and feel comfortable with all of this good stuff, paranormal, unnormal, outside of the box, normal. Put whatever label you want on it. We don't do labels here. Call it what you like, uh, and just let us know. But pay attention, be mindful, look at those signs. If it takes you 5 things or a web across your face, that's okay too.
Oh
We
God,
get
no.
it.
Yes, and I truly hope that also everybody has these gifts. Everybody has these psychic, spiritual abilities. Don't get too hooked on it.
Right.
Trust that what you see, you're meant to see. There are things that I see that I'm meant to unlearn. That, I mean, all of these different things. Because
Yep.
I've had people, it's funny because I've had people that will say, be careful when you go to the doctor because they put that um,
Oh, temperature thing.
thermometer, yeah, the temperature thing at your forehead and it does whatever to your third eye. That's not my belief system. So whatever you believe is they are your truths. And I never believed that, but I remember after everything happened with me with the event and I had this defibrillator shoved in my heart, it freaked me out when I got home. I mean, I couldn't even, I have a box here. You can feel it, you can see it, it protrudes, it sticks out, that type of thing. And I remember freaking out because it's shoved into my spirit brain. But that was just my ego that was freaking out. And the guides came through and said, whatever you think is what you are and what happens.
Yeah.
So the guides, against when I was teaching a class, one morning I was in the shower and I saw this teal color, this amazing otherworldly color. When you see in your mind's eye, it's just different. It's not human teal. It's alive, the energies and the frequencies. And I'm like, I don't understand. That's a gorgeous color. What is that? And they said, this is your heart. This is a new chakra that I have, and it's my defibrillator chakra. So it actually became a part of me in this heightened frequency way.
Yep.
It
Yep.
happened spontaneously. I didn't force it. I wasn't thinking it or anything. It came out of the blue. So then I happened to teach that class and be like, let's see what chakras you guys have that are new, that are not the main chakras. And you know what? The main chakras can be different colors too, because frequency changes and therefore I mean, maybe your throat isn't blue, maybe it's a different color, that type
Right.
of thing. So
Right.
again, flow is yourself, people. Trust yourself.
There you go. There you
Trust
go.
yourself.
I love it. And I just have to say, while you were saying that, before we close, a bright red cardinal just came and sat by my window and just was acknowledging when you were talking about your defibrillator.
Oh,
So,
I love it.
love
Spirit
it.
messages, hummingbird and cardinal today.
Love it. Thank you all for being here, for sharing. Hopefully, this helps and is exciting and new and fun. And we will see you next time, right, Kristen?
See you next time. Thanks for being here. Drop your comments and questions below. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. All right.
Bye.
Bye.